What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're back on the East Coast in the Red River Gorge, introducing the AppalachianX to the Appalachians.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
We've made it out here to the visitor center at the Red River Gorge, and then this is where we're going to air down to start the day. You guys know that we've used several different kind of air up and air down systems, but one that we've used since we very first started was the Fasterflate system, and that's to raise and lower. Now, we have been using the same system since 2021, and it has worked great, but it was time for an upgrade. So what we did was we got with those guys and they custom designed us an inflation and deflation system. So dual air compressor, complete manifold, and we're going to set this thing up and get aired down in no time. So from here the gauge is up and we're deflating.
Ready to go?
Alright, so once we got it all aired down, we're just going to wind our hoses back up. The way that we've got this one set up is we don't even have to unhook the hoses. Right there, we're good to go.
Now, by this point, we've been back home for a little over a week. We hadn't been out in the woods yet, but really itching to get out and spend some time in our own backyard. It just hadn't happened, just trying to take care of some things before we started making our way back out west. But what we did get to do is we got to hit the Red River Gorge and some of our favorite trails at that. This trail that we're getting ready to go on right here is Fixer Lico. It's one of our more favorite trails in the Red River Gorge, and it's listed as a moderate trail. It got a little bit worse over time. Used to be just a gravel road, but it's kind of degraded since then, and it's got a couple obstacles. These were perfect to test out the new AppalachianX.
Stay right, I think. That's a huge drop off.
Now, Fixer Lico is not the toughest trail on the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway, nor is it the easiest. It is just a good trial to figure out where your rig's at as far as articulation, stretch, and how well it'll do in an off-camber environment. It's also a good place to start hitting the trails if you're leaving the campground like Callie's. If you're wondering what that obnoxious bug sound is in the background, it's these things. It's the cicadas. Now, while we love the vast openness of out west, there's just nothing like coming home to the close, tight, tucked-in canopy trails of the Appalachian. Another true attribute that welcomes you back home to the East Coast is all of the mud holes and the water crossing. When we got to this section here, there were a couple different lines, and we did take the easier of the two because we still hadn't done a whole lot of off-camber testing with the Appalachian. I think that the center of gravity is really low on it. It's going to do great. We're still just getting its feet wet. Another thing that Fixer Lico is kind of famous for is the amount of water crossings on the lower section of the trail.
It's nice. The very southern end of Fixer Lico turns into a better road. It has some vacation rental properties on it and a campground down here.
next trail that we were going to hit was Bald Rock Fork, and this is another one of our favorite trails. It's a lot of creek running and creek crossing. It's a beautiful area down here. By this point, we had been on the move for all of the morning, and it was time to stop, get Aspen a little bit something to drink, and for us to have some lunch as well. The parking lot we stopped here at is a very popular place with the rock climbers, as we're right in the heart of the rock climbing area for the Red River Gorge.
We're lunch of champions.
Well, it's kind of breakfast too, since we didn't have any breakfast.
I know, we were excited about leaving. We do get hungry though.
Yes.
We have taffies with,
Oh, well, look at there.
with scorpions in it.
Uh-huh. Where did those come from?
Arizona. I'm taking them back to the kids, the grandbabies.
Oh, so we're feeding grandbabies bugs now?
Yeah.
Is he looking for lunch too?
No, he's looking for the AC is what he's looking for.
Aspen, there's no air conditioning in this one. What are you doing, buddy? How you going?
I think we figured out he was not a fan of the noise that the cicadas were making at all. After finishing lunch, we also finished the trail Bald Rock Fork before moving on to our next one. The next trail we would hit would be the New Virginia Ridge Trail. New Virginia Ridge Trail was the southernmost trail on the Daniel Boone's second expansion. Since that time, they've had either 3 or 4 expansions, and there's several hundred more miles of this trail system. When you think of a typical trail system, you think of a smaller area within a certain acreage. This trail system goes from multiple counties throughout eastern Kentucky, and it covers hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's definitely a place where you can come and spend multiple days or even a week or two exploring. This creek crossing here, I thought was going to be a bigger test for the trailer than it actually was. That's a pretty steep drop off right there that I'm getting ready to drop off. Then when we get down into the creek, it's got a little bit of a turn and an off camber. But with this Appalachian, being narrow as it is, being able to see around it as good as you can, and being the low center of gravity that it has, this thing just done exceptionally well getting around this obstacle. We've had a lot of people ask us if we like the East Coast or the West Coast better to overland in, and We really like them both. The colors and the experience is a lot different from either side. We really like the East Coast because of all the greenery, all the vegetation, and all of the water that you encounter over here on this side. It's really cool that we have this on the East Coast and can enjoy it. And when we go out west, it's totally different. The biggest difference I can tell you from my point of view is when you go out west, everything is so vast and expansive. You just don't feel like you can reach out and touch it. Where here, everything is so close and intimate and right up next to you, you can literally just reach out the window and grab it. This right here is a perfect example of why you need a taller sidewall on a tire. Could very easily have pinched the sidewall had I had a larger diameter wheel or a lower profile tire. It's not always just about the trails either. It's things like this old walk bridge that you want to stop and take a look at. The north end of New Virginia Road connects back in to Bald Rock Fork. We're going to backtrack here for just a really short piece before we hang a right and make our way up Cave Fork. As you cross the creek here onto Cave Fork, you enter in what was originally the southernmost part of the Daniel Boone. As you start gaining elevation, you'll start making your way up to Route 11. From there, you can turn left and go toward Slade, or turn right and go toward Beattyville.
Man, what an incredible day we've had. We have really missed the Red River Gorge and the East Coast in general. So we got to spend some time taking the AX, or the AppalachianX, out to its namesake. And it did exactly what we wanted it to do. It performed flawlessly, and we really are enjoying this trailer. So I guess the only thing left for us to do now is to air up and head on home. So until next time, see ya.